They locked me up to force me to build more weapons. What they didn't realize was the first thing I started building wasn't a missile. It was a way out. First, I had to solve one problem. I couldn't plan an escape while staying alive off a broken car battery. So I tore apart the missiles, millions of dollars in military hardware, and I stripped it down without thinking twice. I only needed the metal and the energy components because the thing in my chest had to be better. The old magnet kept me alive. The new one had to keep me going long enough to finish the job. So I melted metal, built the housing, wired the system, and piece by piece, I made a new core. When it lit up, that was the first time I really believed I might actually get out of there. But staying alive wasn't enough. I still needed a way out, so I started layering the designs. On the surface, it looked like missile schematics. Underneath, it was something else. A suit. To keep them from figuring it out, I built every part separately. One piece looked like shell plating, another looked like a support bracket, another looked like upgraded launch hardware. Spread out across the room, it all looked close enough to missile parts that no one asked the right questions. The men watching the monitors knew something looked off. They just couldn't understand what they were seeing. That was the point. They thought I was finally doing what they wanted. Really, I was building my exit right in front of them, and the boss walked in. He went through the plans, looked over the parts, and still couldn't make sense of it. So he turned to Yinsen. He heated a piece of metal until it was glowing red and held it right in front of him, trying to force him to talk. Yinsen didn't say a word. I had to stop it the only way I could. I told him if Yinsen died, he'd never get his missile. That saved Yinsen, but it also killed the clock. The boss looked at me and gave me one final deadline. By tomorrow, the build had to be finished. If it wasn't, they'd turn both of us into target practice. Then he left, and just like that, the room went quiet. I looked at the parts and understood exactly where I stood. They thought I was still building a weapon for them. In reality, I was one step away from building my way out.